This playthrough is rated T for teen.
Greetings and salutations, viewers, and welcome back to Let's Finish This Mercenary Wings. Well, I decided to play the game a little bit longer after my first impressions video, and I decided to, after a while it kind of, I wouldn't say grew on me, but I was like, it's simple and fast enough of a game for the most part. I decided to play through it a little bit longer. I'll talk about the game as I'm going through the next battle here, but let's just show off the final screen here before we get to the final battle. Well, one of the final battles. This game has a two-path storyline. At some point in the game, you can either decide to, after you return the king back to his castle after being hired by the king, you can either decide to stick with the army and hopefully you get paid for your efforts, because he'd been kind of not paying us, and he would become so you could either become like royal soldiers, hopefully, or leave and just quit the job or whatever. The path I'm playing currently is the stay path. It is slightly different from the leave path or the mercenary path, whatever you want to call it. You get 4 of the characters change depending on who you play. In the stay path, or in a path, you always get Cecil, David, Francis, or Francie, I'm not sure how it's probably French, and Anemone. On this path, we get Jeremy, which is interesting how when you start the game, Jeremy's on your group, but, well, for whatever reason, there's a reason, but he leaves your party if you decide to leave. Same with Godwin. Godwin's, I'm trying to remember how many episodes I got. I think I had gotten David by the time I finished the first impressions video, I think. Maybe not. I didn't actually go watch the video before this, so maybe I should have. Yeah, I know I at least had these 4 before we got to it, but yeah, I think I got David. Godwin is an assassin archer who was the right hand of the King Harold. Oh yeah, Harold is actually kind of a dick. I had a theory that either the king would die at some point in the story, or he wasn't going to be who he thought he was, and it was one of those two. So anyway, Godwin, right-hand man of the king, decided to stay, liking our party. Matilda, she is a cathedral or a religious paladin who is betrothed to Richard, the son of the king, which I think I showed you during the video there. He also joined us as well, obviously. In this case, the king is trying to kill his son because he thinks he betrayed him because of some whispers by his court wizard, Viola, I think her name was, or whatever. So now, the final episode here is we're chasing down Harold and Viola, and we're going to stop them from summoning some ancient god. Let's see. So we got I know I'm not picking the best classes for these by the end of the game. When you get to these final special stats here, like for the classes, when I talked about during the first impression videos, they give some pretty cool leader skills depending on what it is, in which those are unlocked by I don't know if I talked about this when I played, but when you get the puzzle pieces, which you get 1 per map, and you have to usually go out of your way to get them. They're either in a treasure chest or they're a sparkly bit there, and then you buy one of these job change items, and that unlocks that ability. Really, if you want to know what you want to get without wasting the puzzle pieces, just save and then reload. If you don't like the skills or whatever at the time, I could probably use them all, but I'm trying. I think this game has actually I'll talk about that later, but this is what I'm going to go with now. I didn't want to grind too much, because this game does kind of suffer from grinding for the cases of money, as well as SP, which SP not too bad because of some of the features in the game, but really leveling and money is what you have to kind of grind for. So that's one of the few problems with this game, is grinding, which I guess extends the gameplay time a little bit. Let's start the story, and I'll kind of explain things as we go there. So for the final chapter of the royal path, or the stay path, I call it the army path because that's what the trophies say for it. So there's King Harold. I think I used the regular voice right. There's King Harold. That Viola's with him too. Father. Oh well, if it isn't Richard, you brought Matilda with you too. If you made it this far, it means Ludwig has failed me. just as useless as he's always been. Father, you're being deceived by Viola. Please step away from her. What? Are you not the one who deceived me? Betraying your father is an unforgivable act. Oh, right now that matters very little. Oh, Richard, perhaps I will just forgive you after all. For the ultimate moment is upon us. Father? Well, when someone... never mind. Here lies the ancient god, the primeval god, devourer of life, the phoenix sacrificing its corporeal form to seal it away. When I obtain this power, I no longer have to bow my head to the church. I'll start by abolishing the church, then I'll claim Collingwood, nay, claim this whole continent for my own. Oh, what a truly wonderful plan, Your Majesty. Everything you desire will be yours before too long. Father, you mustn't listen to that woman. She's trying to lead you into ruin. I'll allow you to stand and watch as I become ruler of this entire world. Wait, it went from like kingdom to county to country to world? Man, his escalation of evilдom just took a spike upwards. Or I guess it's not a spike. It just took an arrow upwards or whatever. Listen, everyone. Father has become obsessed with these power fantasies. He's no longer in his right state of mind. As the prince of this kingdom... I thought it said something else. I must stop my father from making this huge mistake. Please, lend me your strength. King Harold, my father-in-law, is a member of the church, and as the wife of Prince Richard, I'll stop you. Your Majesty, the time has come for me to loose my arrow at you. Now everything has come full circle. You mean to get in His Majesty's way? Aye, even if it costs me my life, I must protect my allies and the world at large. How are we meant to sit by while someone's trying to take over the world? Of course. Yeah, we're gonna stop you. I've always tried to live in a just way, even if I am a mercenary. But to be honest, that left's fully full of regret. We should never have worked for you, never have fought against all the people you've wronged. That burns too much for you alone, Jez, no matter how tough you are. So, I'll support you, just like I always have, like I always will. What a touching moment here in the final battle. You cursed mercenaries, I will not permit anyone to get in my way. Once I get rid of you, the ultimate power will be mine and mine alone. Kneel before me, beg for... Kneel before Zod! Beg for forgiveness, perhaps I may yet let you live. We would never kneel before the likes of you, except we kind of did before to jump... Yeah, whatever. Come on, everyone, it's time to silence him. Alright, for the final battle against Harold. Yeah, Harold's defeat, so we had to beat the two leaders. Oh, during the game, Harold actually joins you when you, before you choose to stay or lead the army. He actually joins you for a couple of fights. He actually has some not bad battle skills at the time. And interestingly enough, he's not that higher of a level than you when he joins. Well, at least for me, he was only like 3 levels higher at the time. So it wasn't like, it wasn't like some NPCs where they're like 50 levels above you, because they're NPCs or whatever. So Harold, unfortunately, most bosses have unknown stats. So, and as far as I know, there's really, unless you like hack the game or look it up, there's really no way to know. One thing I didn't really take advantage of until like late near the end of the game is most bosses will have rare equipment that you can either drop or you can steal from. Not that it's essential for the game. Maybe if you're playing like hard mode, maybe you want to try and steal everything. But something to consider. But yeah, he's just got a sword. I know he has like heal. And he also like has a stat booster that boosts all your stats by like a certain percentage, and like a couple of attack abilities. At least when he joined us. I don't know if he still has those. And then we got Viola with a dagger. She's the royal wizard. I assume she has a lot of magic and probably a lot of the spells. Let's see, we got a couple of summon jewels, which all have their own strength and weaknesses. If you look at the resistance thing, this thing has a resistance to earth of 100. So if you hit it with any earth spells or an earth weapon or anything like that, it'll do either negative or it'll do negative damage. But if you have you can actually get higher than 100 in this game. Anything over 100 will heal the character that amount. So if you have like 100 resistance 130 and you get hit with a spell, you'll heal 30. As far as I'm aware, that's how that works. So like this guy you can't hit with earth, this guy you can't hit with ice, with wind, or fire here. And I think they have their own spells and abilities. But unfortunately it doesn't tell me. You just have to kind of wait till the game uses it on them. Let's see, you've got a couple of archers. Well, 2 archers and a crossbowman. A crossbowman can only shoot straight or in a line. I mean, got a priest who will heal and a couple of soldiers. Now, I assume at some point they'll probably summon more dudes. Oh, and we got a couple of thetas. What these things do is they kind of have attack magic, but they're mainly boosters. So they either heal certain characters, like they'll have like a heal all, or they'll give them like a boost or something like that. They have high resistance to. They usually have high defense, so you usually want to hit them with magic. In this case, these are wholly weak. So in this case, Matilda or Francis would be good options because they have holy spells. Let's go off with starting the fight first of all, then we can talk about that later. Each character has, like I said before, each character has their own unique leader skill. Some better than others, I'll admit. Cecil has a pretty good skill if you choose her as commander, which is you're able to move after doing an action. In this game, if you do an action, you can't move. So that's actually a pretty good ability, because then you could, like, if you sit still and, like, healed yourself and then you could run away, too, or something like that. And then some of them are okay, like attack 10%. I'm like, that's fine, but that would only work if everyone was using swords, that type of thing. Max MP actually isn't bad because of the way MP restores over the course of the battle. Because depending on your equipment and items, you can actually get a percentage back in your total MP every round. So if you have a higher MP, the percentages will increase the total amount. So that's something to consider. This is a really good ability, defense formation. It reduces your movement, but there are abilities and spell that you can do to improve your movement. And you can't counter, which, depending on the situation, countering isn't that big of it doesn't do as much damage as you like. But it makes you immune physically to any resistance, so that means you can't be like paralyzed, blinded, and stuff like that. So you wouldn't have to worry about those status ailments like poison. Because I was making a joke in the first impression video, I'm like, oh, poison, whatever, it's not that big of a deal. Or the status buff, where if you have a stat, you're a like poison stat on you or something like that, your boost increase from leader skill. Apparently you get stat buffed a lot in this game, either stat buff or stat debuffed or whatever. Like, it's kind of ridiculous how often that happens. But anyway, it makes you immune to crits and physical have increased physical resistance to almost immunity status, which is pretty good. This one's my favorite because I hate missing, like a lot of people do. So if your percentage to hit is above 70, if Godwin is the leader, you always hit. And if your avoidance is and helps reduce the chance to less than 50, then they'll always miss, which is really nice. That's probably my favorite out of them. Probably not the best one, but it's my favorite just because of that. Let me go and get everyone. So Godwin is basically kind of my ranged. Well, both. I'm not sure how the best way. I mean, he's basically a guy who can move on the battle and kind of snipe people for decent damage. David, he's my physical tank. So he has some abilities that allows him to take like little to no physical damage. Matilda is my magic tank, which means she has quite a few resistances to magic, so she won't take as much damage as that. But her defense isn't as high as David's, but it could be if you really work on it. You just have to forego a lot of other abilities while doing it. Richard is my combat wizard, although I probably should have switched him to full wizard with necromancer or something like that. Just because he seems to not do enough damage with the swords anyway, and I tend to cast spells with them more often anyway. So he can either be a physical wizard or combat wizard, which I guess wizard's probably the full way to go. Now, if I swapped in a necromancer, he probably could summon monsters for this final battle, but I didn't want to. At the time, I didn't want to kind of mess with it. Francis is basically the super healer of the group. Matilda can do some healing, and actually probably could do as much healing, but Francis seems is a really big like support character. Like, he can do anything from like heal to stat buff to like give you move stat increases, stuff like that. So he's a really helpful companion. Anemone is obviously the super damage dealing wizard. She's got spells that'll hit everyone for not a ton of damage, but still can do it. So she's a very good character. Although she's a aggro sponge, so she gets targeted quite often if you don't use her right abilities, which she has quite a few abilities that prevent her from getting targeted. Cecil's more like my gather items and kind of do a little bit damage here and there, but never doing like straight out like a lot like Godwin would be. And then Jeremy is like my super one target, do a lot of damage guy too. I make him an avoidance builder instead of like sword and board, because I feel at least on normal mode I think I could do that. As long as I have my magic, nothing will harm His Majesty. Ho 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 ho! I'll make you bow before my power before sending you to the depths of hell. What'd you get your dialogues from Maleficent? God, remember when Disney films used to like how the villains say go to hell and stuff like that? Okay, so let's start the battle here. So, do I want to? Actually, let's go. Yeah, I'll just because I want to boost. And okay, I'm gonna do marching song. I don't know how much is gonna be used here. Oh yeah, I feel like at some point during this fight they're probably gonna summon more enemies because this feels like a little low when it comes to combatants for a fight. But okay, so they're boosted with +3 movement. I'm gonna go ahead and have Matilda cast protection on us so we can have some physical defense. Oh, and also the spell also gives magic defense too, since quite a few of these people are going to be magic. Stat turns last for quite a while, like 4 or 5 turns, but there is a leader skill you can take that'll improve how long it lasts. Now David has a really cool skill, although I should probably put aggro on him, but I think because where he's at, he might get targeted more readily anyway. But he has an ability called actually, I don't want to move him too far because anyway, he has an ability. Well, if you give him the flanks class, phalanx, class, he has the ability called absolute defense. What that means is that depending on which level you choose it at, he is immune to damage. That means physical and magical, which is awesome. But it's only the maximum amount is only 20 or 4 attacks, so keep that in mind. Okay, I think I want to buffer before I start using earthquake on everyone. Now, if I was playing a harder difficulty, I'd probably be using more debuffing and stuff like that. But I think for this difficulty level and everything, I think I'll be fine with just kind of going all out. Yeah, most normal dudes don't really have any strength or weaknesses when it comes to resistance. It's usually their only defense is if they have a high magic defense stat, which most guys don't. You can usually tell who has high magic defense or has high defense, although I'm kind of surprised the priest character has the same defense and magic defense. But yeah, I tend to, at least on normal mode, I tend to just go all out. If I was playing harder critical mode, which you unlock by beating the game, I would probably be a bit more careful with what I'm doing. Or I'd probably be buffing my guy, like falling back and buffing my guys up a bit, that type of thing. But I kind of want to get these guys out of the way first, or at least weaken them a bit. I'm probably, yeah, 40. Actually, probably 45 to 50 is probably the levels you want to be here, because at least on this difficulty, because the random battles that you can fight to improve your levels have it about 46, so that's probably what you want to be at. But I think I can handle the finale with just these stats as is. Okay, yep. Oh yeah, and Jeremy has a weapon on him that gives him a high crit chance. So, I mean, he doesn't crit all the time, but he does have pretty good chances to do it. Let's see if everyone targets. Probably not, because I didn't put aggro on him. Yeah, that's the only problem with is that he doesn't. That probably was because of Godwin's abilities why he didn't get hit or whatever. Yeah, see, he got hit, no damage. But yeah, with the way, if there was enough room in the battle to kind of mess around a bit before running into the enemy, I probably would have cast Provoke on David, so that way his aggro would be increased by a significant amount. So that way he's more likely to be. Did he attack her magic? I guess he attacked her. I think it said Mana Break on there. Mana Break will damage your MP, which can be quite heinous. Usually if you're in the front, usually you'll get targeted anyway, even despite your aggro, because aggro doesn't completely guarantee that the enemy will target you. It increases the chances that they're close by, but which is kind of hard to relegate certain design or certain battle tactics because you're like, oh, if they always follow aggro, they should do this, but that's not always the case. Oh yeah, this is Earthquake. It hits everyone on screen, but obviously it's not going to do a ton of damage because, you know, that would be OP. Do I want to heal? Probably not. Oh, and you're probably wondering to yourself, why are there treasure chests in here when this is the final battle of the game? Well, this game has a New Game Plus feature. Oh, we got a tower shield. Nice. Oh, Francis has a class called Merchant, which improves like your ability to get like magical items, and that class gives him a thing called Final Attack, which if you use it, it will increase your chances of getting a magic item drop if the enemy has it. Like I said, you can't really tell like what equipment people are using, so it's hard to say. Steal is also a way to get stuff, but I haven't really been stealing. I was only stealing by the very end, and at that point I was like, well, I'll just save it if I ever New Game Plus it. But yeah, when you beat the game, I think SP transfers over, magic items transfer over, and there's a few other things, but we'll find that out when we actually get to this. Do I want to... Let's see, what's his aggro at right now? Yeah, 66. There's only a few ways to like prove it without provoke. If I move too far, everyone's going to target like these guys instead. I just have to decide if I just want to take the risk, because usually archers are usually weak enough anyway. Yeah, see, and with Godwin's ability to, let's see, nah, I can't do any arrow rain. I'm sure magic, I could probably enough for another blizzard, yeah. Although blizzard's probably not the best spell to be. Probably best to get the archers. They have a weaker magic defense. Alright. Tilda. Let's see if I can. I doubt any of my spells are gonna hit you for full. Because Jeremy's probably just gonna wreck it, just probably gonna destroy him. Oh, oh, that's right, because he's an archer. Although usually Jeremy's ability to hit is not too bad. I'm kind of surprised he's not guaranteed. He's close. Basically, he's close to the damage. I might just, if he has enough movement, I might just sweep the. Yeah, usually my archers have plenty of hits, so they're most likely going to hit because of Godwin's ability. Unfortunately, I'm not going to do as much damage. Oh, well, I crit. I was about to say, I'm not going to do as much damage because I'm from a lower position, so. Although maybe after I beat these guys, I might step back and buff up or whatever. Yeah, see. Normally my stats wouldn't be that great at this level, but there's a way to increase your stats via. See, I don't know what that ability is. Let's move him. I assume what that is. Well, you killed him. I assume what that is. It's because it said ignore, so I assume it ignores all my defenses and does pure damage, and he did it at level 8. So he kind of wrecked poor Jeremy there. Yep, he's buffing the fur. He does it after I kill all the regular dudes too. And luckily I have yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get to those treasure chests. I mean, I'll try. What I'll probably do is I'll probably just have, I might just waste Cecil's turn and just have her move towards that location to try and get those. She has an ability called Hide, which Godwin has that as well, which basically allows me to, although it'd probably be better to do that after we get rid of maybe leave Viola of it. Actually, well, no, I have to defeat both her. I could finish this fight by just defeating Harold and Viola. And I bet their probably status resistances are pretty high because I couldn't just stun him and just like fight the rest of the fight. Well, we'll see what happens. I'll try to get the treasure chest. So first of all, I'll need to heal Jeremy. Now you can you can resurrect and revive people with other classes in the game, but one of the few flaws in this game is resurrection and revive are not guaranteed. This is a 75% chance. You know how many times in this game I've failed to, like, revive someone? It's kind of ridiculous. Okay, what's his Earth? So Earthquake would be fine with her. I mean, I know Earthquake isn't the best use of her abilities, but I tend to use it quite regularly because it's a good, like, kind of weakening of characters till I get to the enemies. So, unfortunately, that's gonna not hurt that one Earth one, but it'll do a little bit of damage. Looks like it didn't do any damage to Herald. They might have high Earth resistance or something like that, or maybe 100%. Same with her. So we don't, like, everyone else doesn't seem to be affected by that. Let's see, Earth. He's weak against Earth. Probably. Okay, let's heal with. I'm just gonna use an item because, like I said, at this point, I'd rather just guarantee an item instead of just. But yeah, that ignore ability is kind of heinous. The fact that I assume what it is it completely ignores damage. What was this thing? Earth resist? Oh, I don't have an Earth weapon, do I? Well, I could do a decent amount of damage without that. I do have a lot of items I could use on them just to reduce that. If he crits, that might finish it off. Yeah. Oh well. Yeah, unfortunately, can't just guarantee that. What is his? Okay, so he healed from that, which I'm not sure. I didn't think Godwin's weapon was an element. Maybe the arrow rain is or something because it healed him. Okay, well, let's try to keep. Oh, I don't have. Well, what I could do is MP restore mana ration him. So that way you can... Yeah, the problem with the Heavy Knight is their MPR, which is their magic regeneration, is, despite it being 19, his MP isn't very high. And because of all the items he equipped, well, because of the heavy armor reduces your MPR. So it, so it's not very effective to get an MP growth from him without using, like, MP boosts or something like that. Well, all my... Well, Richard does have a healing ability. Although I assume Harold's probably like a single targeting dude. I don't have area heal with Richard, do I? No. I'm just trying to decide what I want to do. Because Harold's probably going to go after Richard if I stay put. Oh no, he'd probably go after Jeremy. He'd probably kill Jeremy. That's probably gonna just be a common course for this game. Unless, what's my rate to confuse? Probably next to nil. I bet they're immune to status afflictions. Yeah, or really high resistant. Because that would kind of break the game if I could. I bet silence. Can I silence you? Well, maybe, but I'd rather not waste a turn. Probably what I want to do is life barrier. So that way at least Richard will survive the attack. If he gets hit. Life Barrier basically makes him take magic damage instead of... Or his MP gets hit first before his HP. What's your weakness again? You are... Wind. I think what I am going to do is I'm going to... Well, no. Even if he has Hide, if the thing casts magic, it'll still hit me. Because Hide doesn't guarantee it. All Hide does is it guarantees that they won't target me specifically. Let's just call in the artillery. Yeah, this is probably going to be a long fight, by the way. Just because of it being the final fight and everything like that. Really? Cecil? But Jeremy has the higher aggro. See, that's why you can almost not guarantee aggro, like, doing the damage you expect. You know what I mean? Just because, like I said, Jeremy had the higher aggro than Cecil, yet for whatever reason, Harold targeted Cecil instead. So I don't know, folks. I really don't know. What's Miss do? Probably. Oh, okay. I thought it was a buff because he targeted Viola, but okay. So I'm just gonna have to heal him again, unfortunately. Or Cecil. Although you do have a couple of turns, but the thing is, if you take too long, you're basically wasting your. This is to hit me. Yeah, he's odds. Well, if I had my abandon, my weapon doesn't even hurt him. My weapon is, unfortunately, my weapon is like Earth Elemental. The weapon I've got equipped. Yeah, that means, that sucks. That means Jeremy cannot hurt Harold. Period, because of the because of his weapon type. That's kind of annoying. There is a way I can. There's a way to like nullify like benefits like that though. Do I just have Matilda heal? Or her? I mean, I keep forgetting Cecil's a girl. Could just take out Viola first, and she's probably the biggest threat. Well, I mean, Harold's a pretty big. They're all big threats, really. Let's see. So magic pretty much isn't going to work on Harold. Like, so she's worthless against Harold specifically because of his debuffs. Let's see. I thought Matilda had like an anti. Or no, I think that's a buff, isn't it? Yeah, it just increases your resistance. I might not have it on me, but there's like a. Oh no, it's called weaken. But would that even work? Yeah, it doesn't even. It's not even guaranteed because it says 0. But yeah, she. Luckily for her, Anemone has a thing called invisibility, which allows her to not be targeted. I could start using reflection, but the thing is, I can't guarantee. Sometimes I can't guarantee who he's going to attack. You know what I mean? Oh, if only he had one more movement. Yeah, well, we'll just accept it. That'll hurt you. Almost kill him, but it won't completely kill him. Her magic defense must be so high that she can actually dodge magic attacks, which makes sense. Okay, Matilda. Probably should have gone downwards instead. At least I have a decent amount of soul stones, but I don't know how often I'm going to be needing with Harold freaking like ignoring armor defenses and whatnot. Actually, Cecil does have an ability to heal. Do I have enough? I don't think I have enough MP just because of the because of getting killed. Sometimes getting killed will reduce like your MP and stuff like that. Nope. Probably best to get rid of the item or the creature. I guess it's a good thing that area heal you guys. She'll still die even with the reflect ability. Probably better to turn myself invisible for now. Save my magic. Oh, or... This is what happens when I press the button too fast, because I accidentally... Well, I mean, she'll still be alive next turn, so I guess there's that, so... Yeah, I'm really not utilizing David very well. Let's see if I... Let me just actually let me just cast aggro with him, or provoke. I mean that's basically aggro. Max aggro, by the way, is 999. Yeah, probably Matilda's probably gonna get, or yeah, she's probably gonna get killed. Oh, she survived. He must be out of magic currently. Man, or ignore must cost like a bunch of MP. Ow. Is that one that hurts all of us? Yep. That's what I thought. So one must do the whole hurt everyone, and then the other one heals everyone type of thing. So if we want to try and get in those, yeah, for a wizard, she's got a pretty high. End of the game. I should be critting, you know, and all this other fun stuff. Okay. Anyway. Yeah, there's no at this point. There's no reason for me to cast Earthquake anymore. So I was about to say that should finish him off. I think I'm gonna start using hide on you, so I can start trying to get up to those items. Yeah, this is probably gonna be an hour plus long episode, depending. Which I knew that was gonna happen, but let's see. Let me area heal again. Yeah, good thing I have Francis with her, or his build-up. Yeesh. Sorry. What's her aggro at? It's probably pretty high. Yeah. Let me see if I can get you to be distracted by the king. Okay, there's one way to help with aggro for other characters who seem to get it quite often. Is an ability called Peace, which will reduce their aggro. Up to 500 is the most I can get. Yeah, Francis, because he heals, really increases his aggro. Like, it's pretty ridiculous, like how much aggro he activates by just healing and everything like that. Oh, that's right, he can't, his great bow doesn't allow him to attack, like right next to him. I'll help with your aggro, since you cause quite a bit because Francis can take a few hits before. Well, actually, the king might decide to target Francis anyway, just despite. So let me go and hit Francis with that. Yeah, if I can get David in the right spot and to distract the king enough. Crap. No, that didn't help, did it? Because if I could get him in the right spot and enough aggro dictated to does that steal our MP? Yeah. Okay, they both can just heal and hurt us. So luckily the hurt isn't that bad. And probably if I had like high dark resistance on everyone, it probably wouldn't even do any damage. But yeah, I think she just stole. Yeah, she maxed out her MP, so she probably stole our MP, or at least a decent chunk of it. Let's see, because yeah, I can't seem to get even with that. See, like even though their aggro was low, for whatever reason, the king decided to attack them instead of David, despite him having the higher aggro. So just don't take having high aggro to be like a super guarantee that you're gonna it's gonna work. Unfortunately, as much as I'd like it to, it's just not a guarantee. I want to see if I can get rid of her, so I can like reduce her, like her sucking out my MP and everything like that. So, and hopefully get everyone out of the way so we can. Yeah, since her magic's, I'm gonna just gate travel with her. Get her to move out of the way for a bit. Get her away from the king there. What's her? I wonder if she has high holy resistance. probably. Oh, but it's her magic defense that helps in that regard. Let's see, what's my... aggro's not too high. Go ahead and heal. Actually, oh, I could... if I have enough room to... Yeah, Francis has enough of enough NPR. His NPR is like 40% or something like that. Yeah, 40%. The highest is Anemone's at like 44 or something like that. 47. So that's why she gets so much MP to cast her spells. But unfortunately, because of everyone's high magic resistance, it's kind of making that a bit annoying. Okay, let me go ahead and piece Francis. Since she's has high magic resistance, I'm just gonna physical attack her. Now it's like her weapon gives her. Let me see if I can get him to. Like I said, unless aggro is super high, but I also want to use a turn. There is actually. Oh, I should have. You know what I should have done is I should have used body double on Francis and given that aggro to. Give that aggro to David. Yeah, Francis has a thing because of his high... Oh, ouch. Should have known she would do a lot of damage. Yeah, I'm gonna heal Anemone. That's annoying. At least they both can't do it on every other turn, you know. Okay, so yeah, we gotta make sure to try and increase our chances of critting or doing a lot of damage. Ah. He has such a high crit chance, yet he doesn't crit all the time. Even when I use abilities that should allow him to do that. What's the weakness again? Holy? I guess I'll start using holy bombs on him. You have to be right next to him. Oh yeah, that's gonna be plenty. Yeah, you can buy like items and stuff like that that'll do effects, and they're pretty. If you have the money, it's kind of worth doing that. I think I want to, despite everything, I think I want to get rid of these guys first. So let me holy bomb them. That should finish him off. Oh, I bet it's because. Oh, it's not doing as much damage. I bet it's because Cecil is her class, her like thief class allows her to do more damage with like item types. I know Richard has an ability like that too that allows him to increase item usage or item damage. Oops, I meant to go Soulstone. I don't know why I was going. I'm kind of surprised she took that much damage from magic. Anemone did, just because her magic defense is pretty high. Well, I might just have Cecil on her turn go and use the Holy Bomb on that thing. Because I kind of want to, you know, kind of start pegging her. See if that does any more. Oh, yeah, the Assassinators, yeah. Alright. 415 damage. Booyah. Bye, Viola. We get our Hades Rod. I thought about trying to, steal from her, but I was like, at this point in the game, I just want to finish it. I mean, it does help get like all these items for the purposes of. I guess I'll start doing aggro clearance from everyone else, so that way the king focuses on David until we can get a good pattern down. The only problem I have to figure out like how to hurt him because physical attacks don't seem to work, and he is highly resistant to magic. So I'll have to figure out. Because he's healing when I physically attack him, so... I wonder if I have enough room to fully bomb that thing. Oops. Yeah, what's his damage? That's still pretty... That'll finish it off, so... Yeah, at least the final fight isn't super easy. At least there's that. That'd be kind of annoying if I go through this whole thing. I mean, yeah, I probably could have grinded to make the last fight easy, but... I mean, that would have taken a long time. There is like a trophy for getting. Oh, he didn't even do anything. Oh, I was about to say he didn't even do anything. It's like no, it's just. Oh, that hurt him. Not a lot. Does he either has a ton of HP or that hurt him, but not really? No, it would have done 0. It would have shown 0 if it hadn't done anything to him. So, okay, I'm gonna use the unlock on these things because some chests will have like a random trap in them, and it's kind of annoying to deal with that. So I have to start. Okay. So as David continues to distract him, because he has just enough MP that he can nullify Harold's attacks quite regularly, so that'll help there. So I'm gonna have to start buffing everyone. And avoid up to help not get hit. And he's not really doing any magic, so I don't have to worry about doing any stats like that. I could do regenerate or something like that, but okay, we'll protect whenever we get everyone that's going to be fighting at least somewhat close together. Oh, I should have been. I was so gung ho to get them in line that it wasn't like I wasn't buffing them like I was supposed to. Whoops. Oh well. You make mistakes, I guess. All right. I don't think I really need movement. So. Oh yeah, there's body double. That's the one where I can just move if I move David back, I've got to give him the. Let me give. I just might give Bless to. Oh no, I want to give your advice improves your critical chances. And I'll just use Cecil to get that other treasure chest, and then we'll go from there. Because David's not going to be doing any damage, or if he is doing damage, it's very, very low. I wonder if it was getting rid of Viola or one of those statues that nuts. Well, there goes Francis. I probably should have moved David and body doubled. That's probably the way it should have gone. But yeah, unfortunately now, Harold moved himself in a position of power that I didn't want. Oh well. Oops. That's gonna happen, unfortunately. I was assuming the aggro wasn't that high that he would move over there, but oh well. Of course, he moves just enough out of the king's way. I wonder if Magic Break would work on him. Although he has so high magic already. So. Oh, I didn't mean to attack. Whoops. At least he can be hurt. It must just depend on the turn or whatnot. Because like Cecil has a thing where every third turn, if she hits or with an attack, she auto crits. So let me see what Assassin Arts will do on that. Okay, good. Yeah, you get that from. I forgot. I don't think it's the Assassin class. Although there is an Assassin class that I didn't give him. I should have, but it would have meant a lot more grinding. I think Anemone can't really do. She can't do any damage at all, right? Actually, let me focus on him and see if maybe it just depends. Maybe because I destroyed all those other things, maybe it's one of those cases where destroying those towers were what gave him certain bonuses. Yeah, it must have been. Okay. Yep. Okay, so you kind of have to destroy the towers. I mean, you can probably hurt him without it somehow, but. Oh yeah, Harold's similar to Jeremy, so at least it's because my my avoidance is so high, he'll miss now, which is good. I keep using Ia Slash because it's supposed to be a high crit. Yeah. Okay, let me res you. I would, like I said, I would use res, but because it's only 75%, I probably should have maxed out my soul stones now that I think about it. Oh well. Let's see, your aggro is still pretty bad too. Let me body double you, so that way you'll be more likely to be targeted. Although I didn't use his invulnerability ability. What? You're still going? What? See, he has zero aggro, yet he still attacked her, him. Gosh, sorry guys, it's because of the way Francis looks. Sorry. But yeah, like I said, you can't... You would think the aggro mechanic would be pretty obvious to indicate, but just sometimes. Oh, we get the final puzzle piece of the game, which allows us to buy either magic equipment or class upgrades. Now let's just keep wailing on him. He can't heal himself, so... Or he can, but only by physically, like, regularly typing this. I think she has enough magic to where she can do that a few more times before the NPR won't get to it. Yeah, see, I have 799, and he's not going after me. Although, David has an interesting ability that if he gets a lot of aggro, he can use an ability called Sasara Strike, which basically throws all the aggro into the attack and does a decent amount of damage, but I kind of wanted to save that. Let's just keep trying to get Ia slashes in. Nice. I guess I'll try. You know, I'm gonna try to resurrect. I just wish I had a higher percentage. Yeah, 0 aggro, and he still attacked her. Dumb. Anyway, sorry. It's really annoying when you think you figured out a mechanic of the game, and then it does something that you're like, well, this shouldn't work like this. You know, that type of thing. Like all like stats should indicate that I should be able to just. Oh, not even behind him now. Assassin arts only work if you're attacking him from behind. I don't even think that's considered behind, frankly. Let's see. Yeah, it's not considered behind. Oh well, we can still attack him for damage though. Yeah, Godwin's crit chance seems to be pretty decent. He seems to crit quite often. Although, I don't know, whole arena healing almost seems to be moot just because of that ignore ability, because it tends to do like so much damage. Yep, see? 0 aggro. Okay, no, actually that wasn't true. When healing, he had aggro, but it still was not as much as David's. David, 666, 327, not the same percentage. Sorry, it just bugs me. It's just so annoying when you can't figure out a mechanic. You think usually when you have trouble figuring out mechanics, that's usually an issue with like really poor, like poorly designed games or something like that. Although Harold's going down because we took out the towers and everything like that, so... I mean, we've got this. It's just, you know, we could have had a lot more sooner, you know. His damage must be down at this point or something. Yep, just keep running your best spells and abilities on him until he's down. Maybe I should use Sasara Strike on him just to get that little bit of extra damage. Oh, and the reason Francis didn't die is that you can... Well, your shield has a chance of straight up blocking certain attacks. But it's... Depending on the shield, it's kind of low. I think Francis's shield, I think it's only like 30 or 25% or something like that. There are classes that can improve that. Well, since the King's not even going after aggro, might as well use Sasara Strike just to get a little bit of extra damage out of him. I probably could, actually what I should have done is probably activated Store, so I could get a bit of extra like hit percentage and critical possibly, and then attack him. But man, 7 sword doing any damage? Yeah, possibly it can hit, miss. Yeah, we're whittling down the Mad King. Oh, I probably should have. Whatever. Let's keep trying to high crit with Thea Strike, I guess. Oh, almost out. Almost done. Ha ha ha. Yeah, unfortunately, well, no, I'll talk about that during the credits or whatever. But yeah, this game, I was kind of harsh on this game originally. It's not as bad as I gave it out to be when I was playing it. It does have some issues though. I wonder if, well, she'll probably die because she can't block that much damage. Yeah, see. But yeah, I was probably overly harsh when I did my first impressions of this. I think any game can be fun if you get into it, and it is. It's kind of a Final Fantasy. Yeah, it's kind of a Final Fantasy Tactics Light type of game, or Tactics Ogre. But the issue I have with it is the story. But I'll talk about that when we finish it. I'll let Godwin finish him off. Why not? He was the king's right-hand man in the first place, so pretty apropos, I think. I think it should do enough damage to kill. Yep. Goodbye, king. Oh, he didn't even drop anything. I probably should have tried to steal from him before that. He probably would have dropped his sword or something like that. Yep. And with that, we finish. Yeah, we get stage clear, enemy bonus. If you finish it quick enough, you get more SP. And if you open the treasures, you get things. So, yay! We finished the game. Or at least the royal path, anyway. Why, Richard, if I had that power, Rideon would be completely under my control. We'd become the strongest country in existence. My hopes are not to be. You are too kind, too weak, not suited to being ruler. Rideon will fall into ruin before long. Perhaps I am weak as you think, father, but I have my friends to help me. Rideon will never fall, not as long as it has people with just hearts who serve it. Whatever misfortune may come our way, we will rise again, just like the phoenix. Your words are foolish, just like you, my son. Good luck. Yeah, and in this world they just disappear, even though they die. They got sent to another dimension. Father. Prince Richard, you're going to be a great king, I swear it. Yeah, what does a ruler need if not kindness, eh? Thank you, both of you. So there's a little... I spent my life living in the shadows of society, yet I could serve this country, as imperfect as it is, due to the Crimson Birds. Your Majesty, as one who has committed grave sins, I know that one day I too will arrive in hell. When I see His Majesty there, I'll tell him how King Richard and the mercenaries brought hope to this country. Next, I appoint Cain as cabinet minister. Woohoo. David as commander of the Imperial Guard, Francis as vice commander, and Anemone as royal wizard. If none of you raise any objections, this will form the start of Rideon's new order. Wait right there, I have an objection. How come the one who didn't do anything gets the best role? Oh yeah, the guy who actually runs the Crimson Birds or whatever it is. You see him a couple times. Actually, you only see him like twice in the story. He's only talked about off screen, and yet, we do all the work. Well, that is a bit rude. I'll have you know I've been working hard behind the scenes to support you at every step. You might be in trouble now, Cain. What with Anemone being the royal wizard. Francis, you got it rather cheeky recently. I'll not stand for it. I don't even think that's the voice I gave her earlier, but yeah. Well, I believe my choice was correct. Jeremy's going to make a splendid general. Yeah, and Cecil's there too. They'll be fine. On that note... I was getting the wrong... On that note, does anyone know what the two of them are? I keep changing the voice. It's rather problematic for them to be missing the very first meeting. Your Majesty, do you think you should just let them off for today? You see, they're... What are they doing? What are they doing? Oh, they're saying, Jeremy was dating Cecil's sister, or I don't know if maybe they were married, but during an insurgent with some bandits or something, she got killed, and as a kind of like penance for not saving her, he decided to protect Cecil for the rest of his days or whatever. So it's kind of one of those where they're not brother and sister, but they act like it because of some other obligations. But Japanese and their storytelling when it comes to step siblings or whatever. Ugh. And that's all, Harriet. A lot happened, but this country finally has a good king again. No one needs to die needlessly like you did anymore. Yeah, we're not gonna let it happen. Just you watch, sis. All that's left is for this one to go and find a husband. Though that ain't likely, huh? What was that? Nothing. Don't glare at me like that. Looks like it'll be a while yet. Wah wah. You're too tomboyish. Can't you have a word with Jez for me, sis? Though I guess you probably won't want to hand a man that good over to your little sister. Yep, see, there's the whole she actually secretly pines for him, that type of thing. I'm allowed to be happy now too, aren't I? Nope, Sorry. We don't have enough games involved in this story to care. Since this country is at peace, right, sis? I mean, at this point you can only assume, because as far as I know, this game isn't like part of a franchise or anything like that. That's what the problem with this game is. It almost seems like it's just part of a bigger plot story, like just a little side story in between a world. That, like, it's not, even though we stopped this king from like summoning this big ancient deity, it didn't seem that big in scale, even when we're told it. I don't know, just the new king's rule, Richards was met with difficult beginning. The dishonor of having committed parricide following him around as the remaining old guard attempted to reject his rule through political insurrection and civil war. Several wars, probably. Several years later, through strenuous hard work, peace came to Rideon both internally and externally, but Richard could not escape his misfortune as through a cruel twist of fate, he soon died of illness. Due to his young death, he was ridiculed as being the false phoenix. The neighboring country of Collingwood coaxed General Neville to their side, promising he could get revenge for his dear friend Earl Iscariot. They quickly invaded Rideon, attempting to take advantage of Richard's death, and so the kingdom was once more embroiled in war. Richard left behind his wife Matilda. She, for the sake of their darling children, joined the Phoenix General Jeremy and his wife Cecil in leading the Crimson Bird Knights to solve the problem through the troubling the nation. Many sacrifices were made, but they were finally able to restore peace to the kingdom of Rideon. Through their efforts, Richard's honor was finally restored, and years after his death, he was finally recognized as the wise ruler he truly was. The end. Yeah, it weirdly is a game that doesn't seem that dark to you, even if it does in the background, but then has a bad ending for some characters. Kind of like Fire Emblem did that a couple of times in their games. I'm trying to think it's usually, weirdly enough, it's usually strategy RPGs based in medieval times where half the time, most of the characters don't get a happy ending. Some do, but not a lot of them. You know, I guess Jeremy and Cecil do get married off screen, not on screen, you know. Yeah, Richard gets killed and all this other stuff, so yeah, it's kind of sad, so it's not all happy gumdrops. It's almost kind of realistic when you think about it, because in most games, when they beat the king or whatever, they're like highlighted as heroes by the end, and everyone loves them, but realistically, people would hold out to the, you know, because of like, you know, mindsets and all this other stuff at the very end, so that's kind of a bit realistically on that. So anyway, we can save clear data, or New Game Plus data, so now when we reload it, we can start the game over, and you can play the game again on the same path, or if you want to swap to the, the mercenary path, you can do that as well. But yeah, like I said, the game's not bad now that I've gone over it another time. Really, my issue was, no, that didn't run. Oh, okay. I'm just turning that down for the ending because it's a bit loud. Really, my only issue with this game is, I guess I could talk about it later, but really it's the story. Yeah, the story just, it really isn't, not that I'm supposed to be epic, just, it's missing a lot of parts. Like, not enough characterization, and, I mean, it's like the characters are just there to follow the plot as it's going on around them, even though they affect things and they do things. It's just, I don't know, the story just seems subpar. Like, the gameplay is fine, you know, when you actually get through it, and it does have some grindy bits and all this other stuff, but yeah, the story could have been a bit better for something that's supposed to be like this tactics game based in fantasy, you know. There are a few pieces here and there that are kind of interesting, but overall, it just, I don't know, maybe the mercenary path is better in terms of story because of what happens, but we'll have to find that out. So, so in the next episode of Let's Finish This, I usually don't say that, I just do that, but I'll show you the ending to the mercenary path. So thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.